Today we will be talking about how to convert between decimal degrees and degrees, minutes, seconds, or DMS on your graphing calculator. So first of all, we're going to talk about our rounding rules. For decimal degrees, we're always going to round to the nearest thousandth. For degrees, minutes, seconds, we will round to the nearest second. Alright, so here's how we get started. The first thing you need to know is that your calculator needs to be in degree mode. You can check that by going ahead and clicking on the mode button on your calculator, and you can see right now that mine is in radian mode. So I'm just going to go down and move over and press enter, and now we are on degree mode. The other thing that you need to know is the second angle prompt. We're going to be using option 1 degrees, option 2 minutes, and option 4 DMS during today's lesson. Alright, so let's type in 35 degrees, 42 minutes, and 18 seconds. Second angle, degrees, 42, second angle, minutes. And then for the seconds, you're just going to use the quotation marks. So that's second alpha, and the quotation mark is right above enter. And when you press enter, you get 35.705, and this is in degrees. Alright, let's try the next one. If you have the newer operating system, you can just go up and press enter, and then you can change the things in here. Otherwise, you're going to have to go back and do second angle and fill in everything over again. So this one, you notice you do have to round. We will do nearest thousandth, so this will be 59.296 degrees. Okay. And finally, when you just have 79 degrees and 34 seconds, you do need to input this into your calculator with 0 minutes. Otherwise, you will get an error. So 0 minutes and 34 seconds. And we get 79.009 degrees. Oops. Alright, and that's how you can convert from DMS to degrees. Next, we are going to convert from degrees to DMS, and this is actually a lot faster. So we're just going to take 126.596, and you actually don't even need to put the degree symbol because it is assumed we are in degrees. That's why we changed our calculator to degree mode. So let's type this in one more time here. And again, you can just go straight to second angle and choose option 4, degrees, minutes, seconds, and voila, you are done. We are going to round to the nearest second, so this 45.6 will become a 46 seconds. Alright, and last one of these. Again, we don't need to type that degree symbol. And you can put a negative, that's fine. This means that we're going the reverse way, clockwise instead of counterclockwise, like we discussed yesterday. So second angle 4. And this is negative 147 degrees and 30 minutes. And you can put the 0 seconds if you want, but you don't have to. Alright, so now let's do a little review from yesterday dealing with radians and degrees. So let's get our sketch set up. First I'm going to do the equivalence because that's just basically the plug it into your calculator step. First one, we are starting in radians. And to get back to degrees, we need the pi's to cancel. So we'll times by 180 over pi. And your pi's cancel, and you can just multiply straight across. I'll let you type that into your calculator. You should get 870 degrees. Negative 1,365 degrees, we want to change that to radians. So the pi will be on top, pi over 180. And then you're just going to math rack this negative 1365 divided by 180. And you should get negative 91 pi over 12. And this one, we're in radians. We are going to convert 2 degrees. So the pi's need to cancel. Pi needs to be on the bottom. Multiply straight across. And you should get a negative 795 degrees. Okay, so I'll let you type that in yourself. Let's go ahead and talk about the actual sketches and the reference angles. Okay, so here's where we are beginning, our ray right there. 29 pi over 6, remember it helps to think of these in terms of 2 pi because that's a complete cycle. So 12 pi over 6 would be 1 circle. And you can fit 24 pi over 6, so that would be 2 circles. And between 29 pi over 6 and 24 pi over 6, you have 5 pi over 6 left that you need to go. Notice this is a little less than 6 pi over 6, or 1 pi. 1 pi is halfway around, so we're going to go 2 full times around and a little less than halfway around. Okay, because remember, pi is half the circle. So 5 pi over 6 is a little less than half the circle. All right, so here we go. We are going counterclockwise. 1 circle, 2 circles, and a little less than halfway. Draw your arrow so we know which direction you're going. And let's label this is 29 pi over 6. So for your reference angle, remember it's always in terms of the original angle. So this is in radians, so our reference angle needs to be in radians as well. And it is just how much space is left over between your terminal ray and your x-axis. Well, we just want an extra 5 pi over 6, so what's left is the extra pi over 6. Because together that forms 180 degrees or pi. All right, negative 1,365. So basically you need to figure out how many 360s go into this. So you can add 360, add 360, add 360. You should notice that you can get 1,080 degrees, which is 3 circles out of this 1365. And when you do that, you have 285 degrees left over. Don't worry about the fact that this is a negative, it just means you're going the other direction. So what I like to do is break down the 285 to a 180 because I like to compare things to 180 with my reference angle. So 285 is a 180 and a 105 left. So I'm going 3 full circles, I'm going another half a circle, and then I'm going another 105 degrees after that. All right, so here we go. Remember, I am going clockwise this time. 1, 2, 3 circles, a little more. That's 3.5. And I'm going another 105 degrees. Here's 90 degrees, there's a little more. And draw your arrow. All right, so that was 1 circle, 2 circles, 3 circles, a half a circle, and 105 degrees. So here's why it's nice to break this down. You went 105 degrees in this stretch right here. So your reference angle is what's left over to get to 180, and from 105 from 180 is 75 degrees. All right, one more. So you have negative 53 pi over 12. Again, don't worry about the fact that it's a negative. Think about 2 pi. 2 pi would be 24 pi over 12. Okay, this is one circle. You can fit 48 pi over 12. That would be 2 circles. And between 53 and 48, you have a 5 pi over 12 left. Notice that this is a little less than 6 pi over 12, which is half of pi, or as we call it, pi over 2. Remember, pi is halfway around, so pi over 2 would be a quarter of the way around. We're going a little less than that. So 2 circles, 1, 2, and now we're going a little less than a quarter of the way around. So here. And this is our 5 pi over 12. Oops, excuse me. This is our full angle of negative 53 pi over 12. And your reference angle is your closest degree to your x-axis, which is this extra part right here that we just went, which was that extra 5 pi over 12. So sometimes it's the extra part that you go, and sometimes it's that extra part subtracted from 180 or pi, depending what mode you are in, degrees or radians. But it's always the smallest distance to 180 degrees, or to the x-axis. Alright, so there you go. Hopefully that helped give you a little practice from yesterday, and also to learn to convert to DMS from degrees. Have a super awesome day.